mistakes when buying land for any type of home. That's what we're talking about today. Let's get started. Hi friends, Mary Howard here with There Is No Place Like Home NC, Red Boots Realty, powered by eXp Realty. And if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please take a second and hit that subscribe button below. Don't forget to hit that icon bell to be notified of the new wonderful videos that get posted every Thursday. Today, I am talking about the most common mistakes to look out for when you're purchasing land. As home prices are skyrocketing across the United States and North Carolina, more and more people are turning to the idea of buying their own land and then building their home, as opposed to buying a pre-existing home. And I've seen a lot of mistakes happening. Today I want to share a few of those mistakes so you won't make those same mistakes before you sign on the dotted line. Of course, if you're considering buying a piece of land, the number one thing is about the location, right? You gotta find out. Is it close to the schools that you want to be to? Is it close enough to the shops or the hospitals? So something you need to think about is how long are you going to live on this property? This is an important factor to keep in mind, because if you're not going to stay here long term, then you need to make sure that this land will be profitable for the resale on the backside. And you can have a beneficial conversation with the local real estate agent, and they can pull comps for 6 months up to a couple years to make sure that this land in this area will be able to be sold for a profit when and if you choose to sell. Now I want you to know that not all dirt is the same. There is good dirt and there is bad dirt. The way that you determine if dirt is good or bad is by having a soil compaction test. You will be able to hire a contractor to execute a soil compaction test to determine if your dirt is good. You don't want bad dirt. Bad dirt equals bad house foundation. Not good. Not good at all. And all of these things take time, finding and hiring the contractor to do a soil sample. When you're purchasing an existing home, you want 2 to 4 weeks for your due diligence, period. So that's when you're doing all the inspections. But when you're inspecting land, you're going to want to extend that period longer so that you have all your inspections done, and make sure that you have the time to have the other inspections completed also. Best case scenario is that the seller already has the soil sample test and already has a survey and any other number of inspections. But don't hold your breath. Also, it might not be a bad idea for you, the buyer, to go ahead and do those yourself, because all sellers tell the truth, right? So just like a soil compaction test, you're going to have a survey completed, and the survey will be for your own knowledge to know what you're actually purchasing, where is it located. In the survey, you'll also be getting your setbacks, which is the zoning rules that tell you how far off the side of your property that you're allowed to build your home. You need to make sure that all of these are done in the due diligence period, so that if for some reason this is bad dirt and you can't put a septic system on it, or the house foundation would not be stable, then you can walk away from this transaction. If you're looking to purchase land to build a home, the zoning is also something that you need to be paying attention to. There's residential zoning, there's residential agricultural zoning, and there's mixed use zoning. So those are the properties, land that you can build a home, residential home on. If you see something out on the World Wide Web that says commercial, that is not going to be the land for you to build your next new home on. There's so many different types of homes available nowadays. There's your regular stick-built home, a manufactured home, a modular home, and even tiny houses are starting to make a presence here in North Carolina. And a common problem is people buy a piece of land and then they discover after they purchased that this land has restrictions. and they aren't allowed to do what they want on their newly purchased land. So when you're looking on realtor.com or working with your real estate agent, make sure you make it clear to everybody what you intend to happen with that property. You don't want to waste your time looking at listings that doesn't match what you're wanting to do. Another plus would be looking for land that already has the utilities. So it already has the electricity run to the land. It already has the water pipes or the sewer pipes or the gas pipes. If you get lucky enough to find land that already has utilities run to it, it could save you a lot of headache and a lot of money. Alright, so another thing to keep an eye out for are your covenants and your HOA. Every single piece of property has some kind of rules attached to it, whether it's through the county or through the state. Maybe it's got something to do with the livestock, so you can't have cows or chickens, or maybe you can't park your commercial truck on the property. Regardless, you're going to need to know what those rules are. You could be in the middle of nowhere and think that there's no way there's an HOA, but I assure you, assuming that there isn't one will only cause you headache and trouble in the future. No matter how old the HOA is or how old the rules are, they can still be enforced. You need to request a copy from the selling agent or make sure your attorney does a thorough job and digs those up for you before closing. Easements are another thing you need to keep an eye out for. And an easement is the right for someone to cross property that does not belong to them. They don't own it, they just get to use a particular portion. The most common example is the gas lines, the underground gas lines. So the gas company has the right to come and drive across that property to maintain them. Another one is the big tower, monster tower electricity lines. You're going to want to find out if that property has any easements, and you can do that, go into the county office, or your local real estate agent will be able to find that information. The biggest thing about buying a lot is that you must do your research beforehand. You must do that soil sample, do that survey, make sure you're not in a flood zone, make sure you know what the easements are on the property. And if you've done your homework, then you're going to know what are the local ordinances, what type of home can you put on the property, and what are your zoning? Is it allowed? Are you allowed to have animals, livestock, chickens, or heavy equipment? Thank you for watching this video. Click the link below to watch the next video. Don't forget to hit that icon bell to subscribe. This is Mary Howard with There Is No Place Like Home NC.